The first thing you do to graph a factored function is find the critical points. And the critical points are the points that will make these factors as 0. First we have x plus 3. Let's find out when this becomes 0. X plus 3 will become 0 when x is minus 3. And you get it by solving the equation x plus 3 equals 0. Second, x minus 2. For x minus 2 to become 0, x has to be 2. And for x plus 5 to be 0, x has to be minus 5. Now at these points, the function will become 0, and these are your critical points, minus 3, 2, and minus 5. Now that we have the critical points, we draw a number line, and we will show those points. We know that the smallest number goes on the left, so minus 5 being smallest goes on the left, minus 5. The second is minus 3 goes right here, and 2 goes right here. These three numbers have divided the number line into 4 segments. The first segment is here before minus 5, and it goes all the way to minus infinity. So this is the first segment. The second segment is between minus 5 and minus 3. The third is between minus 3 and 2. And the fourth is from 2 all the way to plus infinity. We have to check all these segments for their signs, positive or negative. And let's see how to do it. First, I will go with this segment. I will pick any number that's around here. This is minus 5, so every number on the left has to be smaller than 5. I will go with minus 6, which is somewhere here. Now, when x equals minus 6, you have to find out the sign of the function. The function is x plus 3, x minus 2, and x plus 5. When x is minus 6, you plug in x as minus 6, and then we find out the signs of all these factors. We are not interested in the final result. We are only interested in the sign. Is it positive or is it negative? When x is minus 6, then minus 6 plus 3 gives you a negative number. Doesn't matter what the number is, it's a negative number. Then x, which is minus 6, minus 2. Minus 6 minus 2 is also a negative number. Minus 6 plus 5 is also a negative number. Now, these three factors are being multiplied together. We know that a negative number multiplied by another negative number is positive. And this positive multiplied by another negative number gives you a negative value. So this segment will be a negative value, right? Negative. Next, we will check a number from the next segment. We have minus 5 and minus 3. So the value we take would be somewhere here. I will go with minus 4, which lies somewhere here. And we check for minus 4. When x is minus 4 plus 3 is negative. Minus 4 minus 2 is also negative. Minus 4 plus 5 is a positive value. When you multiply them together, negative times negative is a positive number. Positive times positive is also a positive number. So overall it's positive. This one is a positive value. And now we check the next segment between minus 3 and 2. You can take any number here. However, if 0 lies in this, then you should take 0 because 0 is the easiest number to work with. Since 0 is somewhere here, I will go with 0. But you can also go with minus 1, plus 1, or minus 2. When x is 0, then we have 0 plus 3, a positive number, 0 minus 2, a negative number, 0 plus 5, a positive number. Now, when you multiply, positive times negative gives you a negative number. Negative times positive gives you a negative number. So overall, the value is negative. In the last segment between 2 and infinity, I will go with 3, which is somewhere here. When x is 3, then 3 plus 3 is a positive number. 3 minus 2 is also positive. 3 plus 5 is positive as well. Overall, you are multiplying 3 positive numbers, so the answer has to be positive. That means the last segment will give you a positive value. Now that we have the signs, we can draw the outline of the graph and get an idea on how it looks like. I will draw the graph right here. So we have x-axis, y-axis. We have minus 5 somewhere here, minus 3 somewhere here, and 2 somewhere here. Now, it says it's negative before minus 5. So before minus 5 would be on the left side of minus 5. And the function is negative. We know that the function is same as y. That means y is negative. And we know that y is negative when we go below the x-axis. So the graph has to be in this region below the x-axis. And it has to cross at minus 5, because at minus 5 the graph is becoming 0. So below the x-axis the graph is somewhere here and it has to cross this point. So the graph will come like this. And now between minus 5 and 3 the graph is positive. Positive means the value has to be above the x-axis. So the graph will go up. Well, the graph can keep going up, but it has to cross minus 3 as well, because at minus 3 the graph is also 0. So it has to come here. But if you keep going up, you will never cross this point. The only way for the graph to cross minus 3 is having a bend. So the graph bends like this and comes and touches minus 3. After minus 3, the graph is negative. Negative means it has to stay below the x-axis. So it goes below like this, and it has to cross point 2. And the only way to cross 2 is when there is a bend in the graph. So it will have a bend and touch the point 2. After 2, it will be a positive value. Positive means it has to go above the x-axis. So it will go all the way like this. Another information you can add is the value of this point. This point is on the y-axis. That's where x is 0. So when you plug in x for 0, you get 0 plus 3, which is 3, 0 minus 2, which is minus 2, 0 plus 5, which is 5. Multiply them together. 3 times minus 2 is minus 6. Minus 6 times 5 is minus 30. So the graph is passing through minus 30 on the y-axis. And this is your graph. If you understand this, try drawing a graph of this function.